Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and we've got several things going on here in the shop, but for starters we got to have our Trump coffee. And I'm going to just show you what all I've got going on here in the shop today. I'm not really going to do a video on this wood splitter, but I've got another wood splitter. This will be the third one I've had in here in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Actually longer than that, probably about 2 months. I've had about 3 of them in here. This is the third one. And this one is owned by the last wood splitter, or owned by the person who bought the last wood splitter off of me. He had this one that was on his property that they had left when he bought the property. They left all the equipment, tractors, everything. And he asked me to fix this one so he'd have one to pull around and put in another location. So that's what I'm doing. And then we got a surprise. So I'll show you what we got on this wood splitter and what all I'm doing to it. For starters, there ain't a whole lot I can do about this, but if you see, the motor is bent, or the frame here is bent. It cocks this way over here. So it's bent right there where this is at. Ain't a whole lot I can do about that. But somebody had all the hoses hooked up in a real bad way. They were using nipples for compression fittings. This here's what they were using as a compression fitting. They were using that like it was one of these. So then they had a nipple that was on this cylinder here that broke off. And I tried a screwdriver to hit it on the edge here to try to turn it, but it wasn't working. So I have ordered a set of extractors to try to fix that. So that's the main reason it came in here, is because this broke off. Well, the reason that broke off is because of this heavy ass valve they had hanging on it. Instead of using a hose, and I don't know why these wood splitter companies can't get smart and stop doing this shit, but you know, this would cause a lot less problems if you'd stop putting this damn nipple in there to hold this valve up. That's a lot of stress on this, on that nipple. You know, you got vibrations, and vibration is probably the worst thing you can have happen to a part. So I got to replace this with a hose and a nipple, or a compression fitting end, like this. So then I went and made a plate to bolt on the bottom of it, and then that plate will get welded to this piece right here, and then that piece will get welded right there to that, just like that. And that'll give him his stand. Now, I don't know how far out I'm going to go. I think it's about right there, because we got to have plenty of room between this thing right here. So that's where we're at on the wood splitter. And then I got to drain every last bit of the oil out of it, which there ain't much in it. It's just whatever's from the bottom of the drain to the bottom of the tank is all that's left in it. So I'm going to have to siphon that out of there, or suck it out somehow, and see if we can't splash that tank. We haven't looked in there yet to see what it looks like, but I get to test out my camera that I got. I got one of them cable cameras that A buddy of mine showed me in his video when he was working on a hot water heater, and I said, I got to have some one of those. I got to have me one. Anyway, so now for the surprise. That right there is a Generac generator. And that was given to me by the very man that owns this. So he told me he would bring that up and give it to me. Well, I don't know if it works or not, but I hope it does. If it does, that I can probably fix up and use or sell it. It depends on what my financial situation is like by the time I get it done. My life is ruled by my financial situation, and it's not all that great. So then, yesterday, he gave me this. And it looks really good all throughout. It needs a muffler clamp or a muffler gasket. And that's the only thing I see that about the motor that can go wrong. You got a dump bed on it, which I love. But it just needs the gasket tightened up or replaced. And both the bolts are there. I just hope they don't break off. But it's a Arcticat Prowler. I think that's a GT 650. But it looks really good inside of it. The plastic's messed up, but we're going to change that. I think I'm going to build me an aluminum hut out of a sheet of aluminum. I could probably sew that thing together, but I can't stand it when I see a sewed plastic. I just don't like it when it's sewed like that. If I had all the pieces, yeah, I could probably fix it temporary and maybe, I don't know. It don't matter. I've got a sheet of aluminum a buddy of mine said I could have. He wants me to work on something for him, so he's going to bring me a 4x8 sheet of aluminum that came out of the side of a panel truck. So we're going to try to see if we can't form us a hood, because basically all it is just a straight piece all the way across the top of this in that shape. Then I can make the other parts that makes up this, but I could probably take that and fold it all the way down to down here, then cut this out, and who knows, I might be able to 3D print these things to put in the place of it. I don't know. We may change the headlights, we may change the design. We may just redesign one ourselves and be done with it. But anyway, right now I'm charging the battery on it. And it's been on that ever since. It wouldn't even show a yellow until I hooked this battery here up to it. But the issue I have with this is, look where the hell the damn battery's at. Why the hell would they put a battery in a location like that? You got that little area right there to be able to jump it. How the hell are you going to get something in there? I barely had enough room to put this small alligator clip in there. You're not getting one of these down in there if somebody wanted to jump you, or if you needed to jump a buddy. So I'm probably going to relocate that battery, and we're going to put it somewhere else. I don't know where we're going to put it, but it's not, it's coming out of there, I can promise you that. A little bit of cleaning on this thing. The top of this is all busted, and I do have parts of it. I don't know if I have it all, but I got that. But I may redesign another center console. I don't know why the seat belts are on the inside of that. That makes no sense why the seat belts are inside there. Those should be on the outside. So somebody has squeezed that up on there and put the seat belts inside. I'm like, how the hell do you get your seat belt? Alright, well, we're probably going to redesign something for this also. And yes, it'll be tread aluminum. But I've been wanting a side-by-side ever since I've known what one is. And I like this. It's aluminum wheels. I like aluminum wheels. The seats, however, have an issue. They have no padding on them. And it looks to me like it was glued on there. So we're probably going to try to make us a new set of pads for it and just mount it to this, because you got plenty of places here to mount stuff, and it don't really matter if you make a pad that sticks out that far. That would even help it, because then the water wouldn't go and stay there. It would go down through here and then out these holes in this valley. So if I was to mount something up that high and just make 4 pads, one here, and then I can upholster it with that camouflage material I did with my son's 4-wheeler. So I don't know what this button here is for. I need to look up the owner's manual. You also have, and this looks like it's upside down, that's the differential lock. And then you got, I don't know what these are. I'll have to figure out what it is. I think this one's 4-wheel drive and this one is differential lock, but I don't know what that one is. I don't know what that light's for. It don't look original. Somebody's probably added that. It needs a key switch because when they left it for him, he said he thought they gave him the key, but he couldn't find it, so I had to order a new ignition switch. And you got a parking brake, and it needs to be loosened up because this thing here pretty hard to pull. Yeah, see, it's pretty hard to pull, and that's broke too. I gotta fix that, and it's cracked right there. Actually, that's in a bad location. It's pulling all the way out. So I got to do some issue, or fix that issue. It's got really good tires on it, man. I mean, these things look like they've never been used. And look at how much cleats on those things. I guarantee you that would tear up some ground. Plus it's 4-wheel drive. I guarantee you this thing will go anywhere I need it to go. Hell, that one button right there is to make it so it's posi traction. So I hope I don't have to get another one of these speedometers, tack or whatever that is. I'm gonna try to polish that up. Hopefully I can get it clear again, but this thing's set out underneath a tarp, and when we pulled the tarp off, you see all those little strings right there? Well, that was all over this thing. It'd been sitting there for so long that that tarp had disintegrated into the little strings. So it's been sitting a while. Let's see what we got in here. in here? In the glove box. Oh, we got a new solenoid. Huh. I wonder if this thing needs a new solenoid. Somebody bought it for a reason. And that is stickers. And a rag. And a clamp. And a rock. And a pin, which probably will fit the hitch, and it's got a hitch on both ends. I'll look at that later. Then we got a really, really rusty wrench. And a chainsaw tool. A socket for spark plugs. A washer. And a star bit Allen wrench. But I'm curious about that, if that ain't a problem on this thing. That's even if this even goes to this. We'll have to look up this part number and see what it comes for. But that's where we're at right now. If anybody's got a hood laying around in your yard that will fit this, I'd like to try to find the right one for it, but they want $250 for that thing, and I'm not paying that much for no piece of plastic. I don't care. Ain't nobody in their right mind would do that, unless they was rich. But I'm not doing it. I would rather make it and make it my own. Yes, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and if anybody's got a problem with me smoking a cigarette in video, you know where I can tell you to go. I'll smoke when I want to, and if people don't like it, they don't have to be around me. Plain and simple, right? But I'm going to try to get a windshield for it also. I don't think it ever had one, but if I can't find one, it's no big deal. But them windshields are probably expensive as hell. What the hell's these? $5, $5, $5. Old Time Days 2018, 2017, 2016. Huh. He must have been a member of something. Pads are not in bad shape. It's even got a third brake light. That'll work. This here I could just make an aluminum fender that comes out and just bends down, and then have it rounded off here on the end. That's all I really need right there. I could bring it out to where it's right here and mount it right to that existing bracket. Anyway, I got a slow leak in that back tire. I gotta figure out what's going on with that. I hope it's just got a hole in it, because it don't look like it's dry rotted or cracked or anything. So it's probably just got either a valve leaking or it's gotten punctured somehow. I don't know how anybody would puncture a four-wheeler tire, but it has to be an awful small leak. So I'm going to say I think it's probably the valve, because those are brand new tires. They look like it. If I clean them up, they'd probably look like brand new ones. So anyway, that's what's going on at the Bison Workshop. I'm probably gonna have to buy a battery. Either that or use that Everstart lawn battery. It's only got 230 cold cranking amps, so that's probably not going to be a good idea. So I'm just going to see if I can't round up a battery from somebody. I don't think I have a battery that'll fit, but anyway, don't forget to have your Trump coffee. Y'all have a good one. Later.